Gustav von Schmoller, the 24th of June 1838 to 27 June 1917, was the leader of the younger German historical school of economics. Life: Schmoller was born in Heilbronn. His father was a Württemberg civil servant. Young Schmoller studied Staatswissenschaften at the University of Tübingen. In 1861, he obtained an appointment at the Württemberg Statistical Department. During his academic career, he held appointments as a professor at the universities of Halle, Strasbourg, and Berlin. After 1899, he represented the University of Berlin in the Prussian House of Lords. He was a leading Sozialpolitiker and a founder and longtime chairman of the Verein für Sozialpolitik, the German Economic Association, which continues to exist. Schmoller's influence on academic policy, economic, social and fiscal reform, and economics as an academic discipline for the time between 1875 and 1910 can hardly be overrated. He was also an outspoken proponent of the assertion of German naval power and the expansion of German overseas empire. Work. As an outspoken leader of the younger historical school, Schmoller opposed what he saw as the axiomatic deductive approach of classical economics and, later, the Austrian school. Indeed, Schmoller coined the term to suggest provincialism in an unfavorable review of the 1883 book Investigations into the Method of the Social Sciences, with special reference to economics by Karl Menger, which attacked the methods of the historical school. This led to the controversy known as the method and stride, which today often appears as a waste of energies and one of the main reasons for the later demise of the whole historical school. Although, as Joseph Schumpeter once pointed out, this was really a quarrel within that school. Schmoller's primarily inductive approach, requesting careful study, comparative in time and space, of economic performance and phenomena generally, his focus on the evolution of economic processes and institutions, and his insistence on the cultural specificity of economics and the centrality of values in shaping economic exchanges stand in stark contrast to some classical and most neoclassical economists, so that he and his school fell out of the mainstream of economics by the 1930s, being replaced in Germany by the successor Freiburg school. However, it is often overlooked that Schmoller's primary preoccupation in his lifetime was not with economic method but with economic and social policy to address the challenges posed by rapid industrialization and urbanization. That is, Schmoller was first and foremost a social reformer. As such, Schmoller's influence extended throughout Europe, to the progressive movement in the United States, and to social reformers in Meiji, Japan. His most prominent non-German students and followers included William J. Ashley, W. E. B. Dubois, Richard T. Ely, Noboru Kanai, Albion W. Small, and E. R. A. Seligman. Since the 1980s, Schmoller's work has been re-evaluated and found relevant to some branches of heterodox economics, especially development economics, behavioral economics, evolutionary economics, and neo-institutional economics. He has long had an influence within the subfield of economic history and the discipline of sociology. Works by Schmoller. His works, the majority of which deal with economic history and policy, include Der französische Handelvertrag und Entgegner, zur Geschichte der deutschen Kleinschwab im 19. Jahrhundert, Straßburgische Zeit der Zundkampf, zur Literaturgeschichte der Staats- und Sozialwissenschaften, Umriss und Untersuchung an zur Verfassungs-, Verwaltungs- und Wirtschaftsgeschichte. Grundriss der allgemeinen Volkswirtschaftslehre, über einige Grundfragen der Sozialpolitik. After 1881, Schmoller was editor of the Jahrbuch für Gesetzgebung, Verwaltung und Volkswirtschaft im Deutschen Reich. From 1878 to 1903, he edited a series of monographs entitled Staats- und Sozialwissenschaftliche Forschungen. He was also an editor and major contributor to Acta Preussica, an extensive collection of Prussian historical sources undertaken by the Berlin Academy of Science upon Schmoller's and Sibyl's instigation. One of the reasons why Schmoller is not more widely known today is that most of his books and articles were not translated, as during his time Anglo-American economists generally read German, which was the dominant scholarly language of the time. German having fallen out of favor, the untranslated texts are now inaccessible to readers without knowledge of German. Two exceptions are the mercantile system and its historical significance, New York, Macmillan, 2nd ed., 1910. This is a chapter from Schmoller's much larger work Studien über die wirtschaftliche Politik Friedrichs des Großen, which was published in 1884. The chapter was translated by William J. Ashley and published in 1897 under the English title above. Online edition. The Idea of Justice in Political Economy. Annals of the American Academy of Political and Social Science 4, 697–737, in JSDOR. His magnum opus is Grundriss der allgemeinen Volkswirtschaftslehre, Leipzig, Duncker and Amp, Humblot, 1900–1904. Important recent books on Schmoller in English: Backhaus, Jürgen G. ed. Gustav Schmoller and the Problems of Today. History of Economic Ideas, Volume SI 1993 thirds 2 1994/1. Backhaus, Jürgen G. ed. Essays in Social Security and Taxation. Gustav von Schmoller and Adolf Wagner reconsidered. Marburg, Metropolis. Balakans, Nicholas W. Not by Theory Alone. The Economics of Gustav von Schmoller and Its Legacy to America. Berlin, Dunk U. Humblot. Grimmer Solom, Eric. The Rise of Historical Economics and Social Reform in Germany, 1864–1894. Oxford, Oxford University Press. Koslowski, Peter ed. The Theory of Ethical Economy in the Historical School. Wilhelm Roscher, Lorenz V. Stein, Gustav Schmoller, Wilhelm Dilthey and Contemporary Thought. Berlin, etc. Springer, Shanoya, Uichi ed. The German Historical School. The Historical and Ethical Approach to Economics. London, etc. Routledge.